Well, reaction is pouring in after the Vatican's release of a document this week on the faithful and Freemasons. The Holy See says Catholics are forbidden from becoming Freemasons. The document was in response to a question from a bishop in the Philippines. He says many faithful there are expressing an interest in joining the Freemasons, the largest worldwide oath-bound secret society. We turn now to Father Thomas Petrie, president of the Pontifical Faculty of the Immaculate Conception. Father Petrie, great to be with you as always. So talk to us more about the Freemasons and why membership is not compatible with the Catholic faith.
It's always good to be with you, Tracy. So Freemasonry was started in the early 18th century, and within 20 years, Pope Clement XII banned Catholics from organizing or entering Freemason societies or lodges. It's easy to think that Freemasonry is like the Rotary Club or the Kiwanis Club, but it's not. It entails not only fraternity, but also subscription to a certain belief system that is, in fact, counter-Catholic or anti-Catholic at times. It basically suggests to all of its members that they must strip away their religious affiliations and profess that only through the Enlightenment, only through Masonry do they come to find the truth. And in the American form of Freemasonry, the Scottish Rite, which is unique to America, when you get high up into the degrees, there's actually anti-Catholic ceremonies in which members are required to refer to the Pope as an impostor and as a false prophet. The Church's problem with Freemasonry from the beginning is this anti-Catholicism and also what we would call a religious indifferentism, which is to say Masonry supports the idea that all religions are false or equally false. There's nothing true but what you can know through reason and rationality. It's not simply a volunteer club. It does entail a set of beliefs that members have to subscribe to in order to gain membership and to advance in degrees. And therefore, it's been the case that Catholics have always been held as excommunicated when they've entered Freemasonry or when they've joined lodges. Since 1983, with the new Code of Canon Law, that automatic excommunication was no longer on the books, but the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith reaffirmed in 1983 that even though you weren't automatically excommunicated, Catholics who became Freemasons were in fact in grave sin and should not present themselves for communion. This has been a problem in the Philippines for a number of years. For at least 20 years, Freemasonry has been on the rise there. But it's also, a problem here in the United States where I think many Catholics who are Freemasons or even, unfortunately, probably some clerics think that it's just a fraternal organization like the Kiwanis or the Rotary Club, and it's simply not.
Yeah, Father Petrie, we're almost out of time, but I'm curious, why do you think it's become so popular? And, you mentioned the Philippines. Also talk a little bit more about the prevalence here in the United States.
Well, I think because the Freemasonry likes to promote itself as having some connection to the Knights of the Crusades, the Knights Templar. There's a lot of movies that suggest the Freemasons are the current version of these historical secret societies, which is really not historical, not true at all. It's propaganda. It's legend, an urban legend. And so I think people kind of feel they want to be part of something greater. And of course, there is a certain secularism in our country, and Freemasonry basically is a religion of secularism, that religion doesn't matter, that the faith doesn't matter, and the church doesn't matter. And so more people are subscribed to that view, and more people are seeking to be part of something larger than themselves, that with other people that seem to subscribe to that view. But Catholics cannot be part of this.
Father Petrie, thank you so much for coming on. Very important discussion. We appreciate it. God bless.